Well, hello everybody. Let's talk about expectation versus reality. Before we go any further with that, I just want to let you see the shed. Spent about a day in here cleaning it up, resituating this, hung 2 of the heat lamps, cleaned out, I cleaned out the whole inside, brought it outside, used a brush and water, really cleaned it out. Closed up my hole, made this little thing right here with that spacer piece that came with it. That way I can take that out if I ever need to help kind of clean it out. And then hung my strip up here, just like that. Also replaced the screen right here. This was all torn up, so that way I can open it fully and then the flies won't get in there when the door is shut. So while we get new birds in there, they can have good airflow. This one doesn't have a screen on it. I think I can buy the pieces to make it. I'm going to make one for here so I have good airflow. So when it comes to our expectations and reality, here's was an expectation. One, when it came to these birds, I had an expectation that I was going to be able to raise a good many and then start selling them and supplying them. And then in reality, of course, I screwed up the first batch. Second batch, I can only get 16. I have another batch coming in first week of June, which will be 30. And so if you think about the timeline in which all that's happening, it makes it really hard for me to have enough to put in my freezer, but also then turn around and try to sell to make some profit off of, which is like the whole purpose of this whole series. So I'm actually probably going to end the series here, because I had the expectation of being able to do these things and letting you follow along. But it does not seem that way right now in reality, because I have one chicken tractor up here and one chicken tractor out here. So we have 2 chicken tractors. Built a new one because, again, the expectation was I was going to have enough to fill both of them and have them on the field out there. The reason I had the chicken tractor on the field was because I had the expectation of being able to do more, and I wanted the room to make sure I had the room to grow as many as I could on good pasture. I also wanted that pasture to be a little bit better because that's where we do deer hunt and stuff. Not that it's bad, it just would make it better. Because maybe eventually my great uncle let me use it to maybe do some cows or something like that. I don't know. There was no expectation on that part, just the chicken part. But so we had 2 chicken tractors. This one is my very first one I built. I built it from fresh cut wood from a sawmill. The price difference was phenomenal, but it's super heavy. This one I actually used pressure treated wood. I had some leftover 2x6s and I ripped them down the middle, and then so I made 1x3s or 1x3s, so 1x6s. So I made 1x3s. Built this one a lot lighter. If it ever gets to the point where I do have to put them out on that field, I will definitely either build another one lighter. I'll keep this heavy monstrosity as long as it's still together up here. So the expectation, like I said, was to be able to run them out there on the field. Reality is, I actually have enough room up here on my property to run 2 tractors. So hopefully that's what I'll do. I am going to, like I said, I have some more birds coming like the first week of June. I'm hoping I might go back to prices and get some more birds ordered, because of course it was my fault, not their fault, and see if I can get them in a week earlier, and then that way I can raise them for a week in the barn, be able to move them out, and then the next ones come in, put them in the barn, move them into another tractor, because these guys only have about 2 weeks left So by the time they grow out and I butcher them, it'll be time for the new birds to go in, and things like that. So the expectation was for me to be able to do this, and the reality was I did not plan well, of course, because I never do, and I did not budget well. Those are the two biggest things right there that you're gonna need to take care of, regardless of what you're doing on your homestead. Planning and budgeting, two very important things that you need to learn, and I'm learning that the hard way, because even when it comes to growing some of the plants I'm doing, I didn't plan ahead. I started them late, which wasn't that big of a deal, but it's just, you gotta buckle down. If I want to make this thing work for me, if I want it to work and do well, I've gotta do better. And so that's the tough thing about it. But we're doing it, we're learning it. And so therefore I'm ending this series because I do have some other stuff on the farm going on, and honestly it would be kind of redundant for me to continue to show you me raising chicks, getting me the chicken tractor, and then the same thing I've already done when I haven't gotten to where I can produce enough to sell to anyone yet. I have sold a couple of my carcasses, so therefore I kind of did get to the point of selling something, but I didn't video it because it was a random person that wanted some of my stuff. And so we'll keep trucking. We're going to keep doing our thing, and once we get to the point where it gets better, y'all be the first ones to know. I promise. So I got some work to do to the monstrosity right here, and just to clean it up, kind of get it back to. It's been sitting out there and the grass grew up around it, so it's got some stuff that needs to be repaired on it. So other than that, I appreciate you hanging out with us, and we'll catch you in the next one.